Greetings and salutations to all you folks out there. I've got the game for you today with the most death that you will find anywhere. This is going to be an absolutely ludicrous Canis 4 versus 4. Before we dive into it though, I do need to make a couple of quick announcements. There are ongoing updates to the server and or client. Due to said updates, I cannot open any replays by the number. I can only use actual replay files, which kind of throws a wrench in the works. I am able to get some games out thanks to some kind advice by one of our friendly faffers who let me know how to actually get the replay files working, but I don't have any access to other portions of the vault. So if you have any good replays laying around, send them to me. Send them to the email address in the description, attach the actual replay file to the email, and I would be more than happy to look at those for you guys and maybe cast a few of them. All right, so let's get on with this. This is my next catch-up cast for the week. We're going to be doing the live cast tonight, and then next week regular content as there has been for the last months. Hopefully I will not contract another vicious virus before the week gets on with it. Okay, let's introduce the teams. We'll get on with the action. On the north side, we have Squirtle taking Aeon, Zale, H-Zale, Hazael, I don't know, taking Aeon as well. We've got Luker as UEF and Hyena as UEF. So double Aeon, double UEF, no Siren love, and of course nobody loves the Seraphim anyway, except for the Cool Gamer. Apparently he did decide to take Seraphim. We've got Don't Snipe. That would be Balance Cancer Lore. He is going UEF with DNG coming out. Apparently he has a brutal naming mod. Prepare for green highlighted text spam. We've got Eli. He is going Seraphim as well on the Alien Lover team. And the infamous Taquito taking the customary Cybran. Looks like all of these guys are going first land. They're going to be scaling up their warfare accordingly. On the north side, we have an air first for Zale, but it does not look like he's going for any super aggressive bombers. He's getting his power online and doing things rather normally. Just decided to start out with an air factory instead of a land factory. Why not? Out on the front, we do have a little bit of early aggression. We've got two mech marines headed out towards the side expansion over here. There were walls planned by, let's see, that would be Eli. He is moving over to the right. Got to track down whose engineer is who's building what, but that is going to be a little bit late. If these units move through, they'll be able to pick off that expansion here without too much problem. Lots of reclaim on Canis. I'm sure everyone here has played on Canis on a multitude of occasions, so you're probably going to be well up to speed with what goes on this map. But hey, if you grab all of this stuff, you can usually get 2 to 3 early T2 mass extractors. You only have 4 in your base, and the collection of mexes out in the map are quite sparse, but if you get those early T2s online, you've got plenty of income to get your spam on, which is basically what everyone loves to do all of the time. T1 bomber crossing the map. That's going to be coming out from H-Zale. He is getting P-Gens online as quickly as he can while spamming engineers. He got the scout and the bomber. That's going to move out to the left-hand side of the map and try to lock down any of the expansioneers headed this way. And this is huge because you can knock out 3 mass extractors and a hydro that they will have to reissue an engineer for. It's very, very far away from the base, so that can be quite crippling if they get out soon enough. These mech marines are going to do an insanely ludicrous amount of damage. They're going to kill one engineer there, then chase down the second one. Can they get it before it crosses the water? I think not, but they will chase it away from the expansion and then kill off this engineer from Eli. So this is going to be quite the stall for the South team. They're going to lose out on most of their expansion engineers. It's going to drastically slow down their crawl outward into the map. Whereas on the north side, we have ACU moving out to the right. Hyena is going to lock down her expansion. I don't know. It's probably a his, but with the hot pink coloring and a name like Hyena, you never really can tell. And then on the left-hand side, Yellow has locked down his expansion, and it looks like Zale is getting his well in line as well. On the south side, those 2 mech marines did pick up that other engineer. They were still rampaging across the expansion. We've got 2 kills on one and 1 on the other, and if they did come back, they would actually be able to kill this one as well. But here comes the final countdown. Race to the finish. The point defense is going to come up. That is going to purge 1 scout and 1 mech marine from the face of the earth, but there is another out there still threatening that expansion. Looks like we do have some T1 units moving across finally. Those Aeon T1 tanks taking advantage of their hover capability to escape the base on this side. That is actually quite useful over here, because if you are Cybern, you have to actually build factories on this side to produce units or walk all the way around the neck, whereas Aeon, yeah, you pretty much got ready access on hand whenever you please. Hover artillery, Zooey's moving across the neck. Eli is already pushing up into enemy territory. He is bringing along some artillery from a teammate, and it looks like we have 2 more ACUs, Taquito and the Commander. Balance Canceller crossing over. If you'll notice, all of the guys on the south side are in the E clan, so when you have a bunch of people in the same clan, you can kind of assume that you're going to get a concerted effort towards domination. Luker's now under fire from Eli. He is trying to get a radar up a little bit too far forward, in my opinion. We've got a triple team in the works. This is not going to end well. Luker might be able to get in the water, but even then there is a danger of ground fire from the artillery. That was a nasty wall section right there. Taquito trying to build those things up to trip up the ACU, keep him from running into the water. The build queue gets messed up when the ACU is walking directly on top of it. He's now past the reach of the wall sections, but the Commander from Balance Canceller is running interference. He's now below the water, so unless they can get some torpedoes online or manually ground fire the Commander, that guy is going to be safe. We now have some tanks moving in from the north. Those are going to try to run interference for all the artillery crossing the water, but I don't know how successful they're going to be when there's a group of commanders right there. And these guys, balls to the wall, no commander upgrades at all. They have all 4 ACUs pushing up into the base. This is an all or nothing gambit here, and we're just going to have to see how well this works. We've got an ACU right and left. We have 1 relatively close to the base and 1 trapped in the water. My question is, how are these guys going to stop this progress? Because they do have a T1 point defense down there. There is a T2 factory online building bomb geese. But when you have this many T1 artillery accompanying a couple of commanders, T1 point defense is really not going to do much good whatsoever. We do have an Oblivion turret going down for Zale in the neck, but Commander is already headed in that direction. Although now he is turning towards the north side. Got to spread those point defense apart so that 1 overcharge cannot damage both of them. Engineers dropping in from Eli. That is going to start building some more land factories. Start cranking out yet more units over on this side. Actually, Luker is E-Clan as well. I was mistaken. Eli is on the south side and Luker is on the north, but it's still 3 E-Clan on the south. The next Oblivion turret, almost complete. That's going to do a fairly decent job of cutting off some of the access here, but you can see that T1 artillery is still streaming around the outside edge. Taquito, Commander, and the Cool Gamer are going to absolutely wreck this blue base, and there is not much help for it. How on earth do you deal with something of this magnitude crashing down upon your base of operations? T1 artillery knocking out the feeble attempt at a denial from that T1 point defense there. We do have T2 online for pretty much everybody in some shape or another, but there's just no way to deal with this. Zale is moving across, though. He is going to try to lock down the entrance. That is going to trap all of these guys inside, but they're already scaling up their economies and production back home. This is about to be a fully fledged plowing under of the north side. Triads going down with all of the assistance that these guys can muster, and lots of energy storage going down as well to supply that overcharge ability. Where is the pink ACU? It is still on the far outside. Yeesh, Luker saying he needs gun. Give me energy. Well, it might be a little too late for that, Sonny. Don't snipe. I love the naming scheme on that. It keeps swapping it up, and it is mildly entertaining. Let's see what we've got going on down here. No air upgrades as of yet, so it looks like we've just got basic air coverage. I take that back. I am staring at a T2 HQ that is now pumping out gunships. So it looks like we will be looking for a snipe at some point here. Cool Gamer is down around half health, and he is taking fire from a triad that he really, really needs to get rid of. There's another T1 point defense going down there, and a pillar adding to the fire, 3,600 health, and 3,000. There goes the triad to some artillery fire. The T1 point defense is online now. Cool Gamer needs to get back 1,800 health. That is not a safe position to be in. Taquito blocking fire with his commander. We've got the land factory going down for Cool Gamer. It's going to give him a little bit of production back in the base and hopefully save him some trouble. But here comes a group of strikers. They need to protect that commander, because if that thing goes down, it's going to reduce the health of everyone in this base and eliminate all of their air coverage, because that ACU nuke is pretty much the worst thing ever for T1 and T2 units as far as health decimation goes. T1 point defense clustered around this base is going to provide at least a half a measure of defense. T1 bombers for balanced cancer lore. All of that air flowing up from the south side. Looks like we still do have a fleeting grasp of some areas of the map from the north team, and these triads here are going to guard this plateau, keep all of that safe. At least they'll maintain a little bit of economy. The pink commander is moving back in, so hopefully that will add a little bit of something to the fight that the north team has been missing. That is a T2 commander, although it's not supported by much income at all. Cool Gamer has gone back up to about 3,500 health thanks to the extra regen from a veterancy, so that is a good thing to have under your belt. And it's as frustrating to watch. This is the kind of thing that makes you want to just beat your head against the desk when it's happening to you. Your base is falling apart, everything is dying, and you simply can't do anything about it. The ACU moving over there. There are some gunships, but I'm not sure where exactly they're headed. This has no air cover, which is a pretty big problem, actually. The T1 units from Taquito are about to cut off the unit supply from that side. If Hyena can get something online to help him out, he will be able to survive this. But here come the T2 gunships hammering away at that commander. Build the anti-air. All the anti-air. That's what you need to do. And probably not sit there and soak artillery fire. And this is where having a low income is a bad thing, because you simply can't get those things online no matter how much build power your commander has. Luker and Squirtle, they are going to eliminate Cool Gamer. That is one down, so they've eliminated a small portion of the threat, but Hyena is not going to make it out of this. 24, 23, 22, and the gunships pull back. I'm not sure why. Probably because death is assured by those artillery. Yup, going to keep the gunships alive. That is the goal there. That means everything on this side is about to go poof, and that leaves 3 on the north side and 3 on the south side. So it is technically an even odds game, but the economy of the north side has just been decimated. That is a hard blow to take. A group of tanks moving in on the left side expansion are going to do further damage, and the unfortunate thing about having 2 ACUs go nuclear in your base is that it eliminates a lot of the reclaim there. So these guys aren't even going to be able to reclaim their way out of this mess. Luker trying to get a hydro power plant online to get some power. Somehow he's got to be able to build. Now he has it. He's going to try to throw down a couple of rail guns to save his ACU. Dodging out from those Corsairs, there is a handful, not even a handful of interceptors online. 4 Corsairs is a fairly decent threat to a commander, especially if they're not microing, but since he is toe-tapping it up in circles, he's maintaining about 7,000 health. But here comes the gunships. That is going to be a bad omen for the health of that ACU. Got to get some kind of flak or something in there, and it's not going to happen. Gunships are going to have to do something about it. They pulled back in anticipation of the Corsairs taking out the ACU, but they did not succeed. But now Zale is under fire from those T2 gunships. It's just the bane of the North team's existence at the moment. Those gunships, if you just had one mobile flak is all it would take. When Squirtle goes up, he is probably going to take Luker with him down to 1,000 health on that commander. Gunships pulling back once again. 1900 health there. If they can get H-Zale down, then all three of these commanders will chain reaction. T1 units pouring into the base. You don't want to get too many people from the south side get caught up in this explosion either. Where are all of the commanders? There's TAC missiles hitting. There goes one ACU. The other two were out of the blast radius. That's going to be Zale. And Taquito is safe. So we're down to 2 versus 3. And looks like Balanced Cancerlord is down to 10,000 health, but that is more than safe. If these guys double team him, they might be able to take one more commander with them. But I think that is the end of this team. That, folks, is how teamwork works. Full-blown early aggression, a concerted effort of 4 players. And this is what we're going to get. Luker is about to go down. And that is going to be the end of that. Luker is out, and that just leaves Eli and Taquito. Did somebody quit or did somebody die? Was that a mutual KO? It may have actually been a mutual KO. I cannot see for the nuke. It was. They did actually manage to take that other one with them. GG to the South team. I know that was kind of a stupid game, guys. Sometimes it is a little fun to get in there and watch one of these steamrolls, one of the unique tactics that people get together and use. It's not always battle in 4 separate lanes or 3 separate lanes or however many players there are. Sometimes all it takes to win the day is a concentrated effort by the entire team to just tear a new one right up the center of the map. Cool thing to see. Alrighty, folks. As always, thank you so much for watching. I do apologize for the dearth of content this week. I have my reasons, and those of you who watch everything regularly on the channel know that I was pretty sick at the beginning, but I am back at 100%, ready and raring to go. We're going to be kicking it off with a live cast just a little bit later, the normal one on Saturday, and then next week is picking back up with regular content. Hope you guys have an awesome one, and I'll see you over there.